All right, so we are taking a look at user versus virus, and I'm joined by the development team. So let's just go. I'm just going to go in alphabetical order for sake of simplicity. So first of all, we've got Discord cuts off your username. It just starts with the letter B. Is all I can see.
I'm
Bob.
Billabob.
Bob. Okay, welcome to the stream. And after that, we've got Nolan.
Hello.
Hello, and Silent.
Hola.
Okay, welcome to the stream. So this is this the full team that I'm speaking with at this point?
We are missing out two other people, the other artist and the person who made the OST.
Okay,
Angle.
gotcha.
So the other artist is Shock Black.
Okay, so how about we just go through in order and just everyone can talk a little bit about their background in game development and what their role in the project was. So starting with Bob.
So I've been making games for quite a while, just casually, few years. All of us actually develop on a platform called Rec Room. It's like a VR social game, and we all make games like in there. And we decided to join the game jam and make like a standalone game, So that's me.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't actually heard of Rec Room, but that sounds really cool. So had you worked together before the jam?
Yes. So we're on a bigger group called Overflow. There's maybe like 20 of us that we all make games in Rec Room. And just like these five of us, or like six of us, decided to come together and work on the game jam.
Ooh, I'm already loving the music, but I am going to turn it down just a little bit so people it's not interfering with. Let's do that over here. Cool. All right. I'm realizing that this is a game that is going to require me to like read things and then respond. So I'm sorry if I'm going to play badly, but I'd rather prioritize like talking to the people who are here.
That is okay. Yeah, our tutorial system, our tutorial solution being disappearing notifications in the corner probably isn't the greatest, but it's all we could throw together in the time we had.
No worries. All right. So then, Nolan, how about you? What was your role on the project?
My role was programming this along with Billy Bob. We worked pretty much throughout the entire 48 hours of the jam. We are both in different time zones, so we were able to get pretty good coverage on just always chipping away at forward progress on the game.
All right. Sounds good. And then, of course, Silent.
I was the other artist. I did not do as much as Shock Black, but I did make the circuit background and some of the green like windows for the stuff and chose the font, I guess.
So is
and also moral support.
Oh, so I can see the user's going for this antivirus. So now would be a good time for me to like freeze the cursor or close a window. I see. Close the antivirus window. So now they can't get access to it. So
Yep.
If I'm understanding correctly, the game is a little bit of a, I wouldn't say idle game because you are like reacting to stuff, but it seems like I'm unlocking new abilities, investing in stuff, infecting files, so on.
It's a little bit strategy, a little bit idle game.
Yeah.
And then...
So you can actually zoom back in by hitting Control or Shift again.
Oh, okay. And then how do I...
And then those big like infect buttons, if you click on that, you get a little boost to your thing. So that's kind of the core gameplay, switching between the two windows. You can zoom in to infect any windows you might see there, and you can zoom out to stop them from using the antivirus and stuff like that.
Okay. Temporary gain the ability to drag the... Oh, you have to... So... Okay. This is going to be very overwhelming.
I know. It's a little overwhelming. We would have loved to... We definitely did overscope a bit, and a lot of ideas we had did not make it in, and our final product is... there's things we would change, especially with explaining and introduction stuff, but we'll see how well you do here.
Sure. I mean, There are things that say infect, but do I have to like tab into the game and then click on them? Like, how does that actually work?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. So it has
So
to be
you
just
can
like present on
only-
screen.
Yes, you can only interact
Yeah.
with the like desktop when you're zoomed in on it.
Oh, okay, I see. So you're like sending infect and um
There was a lot of stuff in the top right for like how to play the game while you were kind of talking to us. To be,
of
to be
course.
honest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Again, I think this is
you're all
just be
good.
one of those things
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
going to
yeah.
have a better experience of playing it themselves. But
Yeah.
So I think that terminal is probably sapping a bunch of your progress, yeah. So what the tech support thing does, there's a whole bunch of different effects here. It is not easy to explain all of them, but the tech support like slows down your infection cooldown thing. So as long as it says like tech support connected there,
I see.
your cooldown on that is way slower. So you probably want to close that window as fast as possible if you want to get
Oh.
your infection
Wait.
thing to.
I see. I see. Okay.
There we go. So now it's back to normal speed. So yeah, it's just kind of a resource management of, maybe you don't want to completely close a window because that costs a lot. So you might just freeze the mouse temporarily,
Mhm.
or maybe you want to spend less to be able to just move around their mouse for like 10 seconds because you can, drag it around and basically keep them from clicking anything. So
But how do I like if the user's about to click something, can I predict when they're like about to actually click and make them click something they didn't mean to?
not necessarily. Once the user locks in onto something, they're pretty much gonna click it. You can only delay them, or you can close the window, and that'll make them
Right.
do something else entirely. But that's the most expensive option. So it kind of goes up in tiers of like freezing their cursor keeps them from doing something for like just a little bit, and that's the cheapest. Or you can like drag around windows in their cursor to like manually drag them away and keep them away for a little bit longer. Or you can close the window to entirely stop them.
Yeah, it's just like the things that involve moving their cursor or moving windows seem to be very expensive, so that's why I'm like not necessarily doing those things, those actions.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I found that as well while testing.
Yeah, we're rebalancing some of those like values and stuff now, so that's actually really good to know. Because they are cheaper than closing a window, but I don't like being able to drag around their cursor is 3/4 the price. Maybe that's not 3/4 the usability. So
It's
you could
also
definitely
just as
decrease
valuable as
those.
freezing the cursor. Pretty much.
Yeah, but it's more fun because you get to drag it around.
I think
you gotta have
that
the fun
I
value.
guess.
if you did have some sort of GUI for like the user's about to click on something and then you had the ability to move the window, like if there was some way to like pause time so the user's about to click something and then you move the window, they make them click on something they didn't mean to, I think that could be fun.
That would be a fun idea, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We initially wanted to do a lot more kind of messing around with the user sort of stuff, going in a bit more of a, that kind of a direction, but ultimately the time constraints created a big issue for going in that kind of direction. And so we ended up going more towards this resource management strategy kind of game.
Absolutely. I mean, I can already see like this is a very mechanically complex game for something that's like within the scope of the jam. So it's the fact that we've got
Yeah, we we had to make our making a fake user of a computer that decides like what buttons to press based on what windows are open and stuff. Like that was pretty new to us, and we definitely bit off a bit more than we could chew with that.
I think there's something else that's maybe a little unclear to me is oh, we got the music really picking up now. I guess I'm doing well.
Yeah, you're almost there.
Yeah.
Oh, I closed the wrong thing. So the when there's like this infect option, it just kind of like slowly fades away, and I can't tell. Like I'm assuming I did it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
We could make that click effect more clear. You're right.
Yeah, like if it flashed or something, because right now I click on these and they fade away so slowly. Oh, okay. I think I won. I infected the entire PC.
No, nice.
There we go. Wow.
Oh, the music is turned down too much. I'm sorry. I'll turn that back up because there is very good music.
It
I'll hit
is a
play again so
banger.
people can hear it a bit better. Sorry, it's the difficulty of trying to set the music level and trying to like listen. How loud is it? But when I click away from Unity to adjust the volume, the music stops playing, so I can't, hear it. So sorry. Again, just more reason to actually download and play the game yourself. All right. Well, let me get back to some of my other regular interview questions here. And I guess, again, going down the list, we can talk a little bit about the development process that you all went through, just one at a time relative to your what it was that you were working on in the game. Also, did it say something about using shift to get a different view on the game, or is it like
Shift and
just
control
control?
do the same thing. It's just
Okay.
buttons for whatever's more comfortable.
Gotcha. Oh, hey, and we've got the music that you've just posted into the chat there. Slightly
Thank you,
obtuse angle.
Mortimer.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for dropping in on the stream. So
Oh,
yeah,
and
the
Angle is also there. Said I made the music. Hello. Right
yes.
above the OST.
All right. So yeah, in terms of the development process, again, starting with Bob.
So yeah, I mainly did programming stuff. I kind of went in unsure of exactly where I should start on like day one because it's very overwhelming to have all this stuff to do. But I think I worked a lot on like the game elements, like the virus menu, the currency, the like progress of the game, and the actual game loop and stuff like that. I think that's where I spent most of my time refining those systems as much as I could before we ran out of time.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Nolan?
I was working more so on the window management and AI interactions, trying to find, the best way to lay out these kind of user interaction paths in the code. Was a bit of a technical challenge, but we managed to get there in the end and get a pretty convincing result.
Yeah, so what is the can you talk a little bit about like what is the user actually doing? Like do they have like a list of priorities that they'll try to do?
Yeah, so the basic flow is that it will try to pick a random application from the apps that are running. Mm-hmm. The taskbar and the desktop, of course, are applications that always exist. From there, each application has a list of interactions that it can then choose to kind of go through, and each interaction might tell it to open a window and then interact with that window, either a specific interaction or a randomly picked one. And that was the general architecture for the interaction system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just as an example there, I tried to like seize control of the user's cursor, but it didn't really accomplish much as far as I could tell. Like it delayed them, but it also delays me from doing anything and being in this view, right?
Yeah.
So I can understand.
The thought there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The thought there was for delaying the user's actions. For example, while you're waiting for your infect batch of files cooldown to go through. It's really about, rolling two boulders up a hill or something. You're working on two things at once. You're preventing the user and you're also trying to make forward progress. That was the kind of game loop that we were going for, kind of juggling these two fronts.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then we can also, Silent, can you talk a little bit about your sort of general process in the art field side of things?
I didn't do, like I said, a whole lot of art. It was mostly up to Shock Black. But I think I was the one that came up with the idea. While we were talking, we had like a huge brainstorm beforehand. We talked about like a bomb defusal, but you were the bomb trying to kind of do that, and then somehow someone mentioned and brought up like a virus, and I was like, that'd be fun, like a computer virus, but you're the computer virus infecting. And so we like all built it on that idea. And for the most part, yeah, I just kind of we needed a virus like window mode, and so I created the background for that. I did create some particles and stuff for the game, but we weren't really able to implement them because of time constraints, and they just didn't apparently like upload properly with our Git and stuff. Something happened along the line,
Yeah,
and so
I'm
we were
working
not
on
able to
implementing
implement
those
them.
now, so we should have some more cool
Lit.
particles for something soon.
Nice. Yeah, I made like 3 particles and only one of them is implemented, but apparently the textures weren't there, so they're just kind of floating cubes on the home menu. You might be able to see.
Oh yeah, in the
They're
bottom
supposed to
corner
be little
here, you can
dust
kind of see
particles.
them in the
Yeah,
background. They're there. I can
they
see
are,
them
but
like
they're
all around,
cubes.
actually. Yeah.
They're not supposed to be cubes, yeah. Um, but no, I did mostly that sort of stuff and moral support. I just kind of stuck around. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So do you have plans to make a post-gen version of the game?
I don't know if we've really thought or discussed about that. I mean, I want to make a version I'm working on now just with like minor fixes. Like we have win and losing music that isn't current, like we have it done, but it's not implemented in the game. So like when you lose right now, it just kind of the losing and winning sequences aren't great. I kind of want to make a hard mode because like, you're replaying it over and over here again. It'd be kind of cool to have a more difficult mode, where it's more intense and challenging, adding those particle effects, just small stuff like that. As far as like a full post jam one, I do not know.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess it always depends on like how enthusiastic the team is to just keep working on what you got here. In terms of one small suggestion, I think these like these little prompts showing up in the top corner of the screen, if you had to click to advance them rather than them like going away on their own.
Yeah, we had that suggestion.
I felt, yeah.
I definitely agree that them flying by without you doing anything is a little not great. I think. I mean, we
Sorry,
like
I
the
drank water
idea-
wrong.
Sorry, what?
I just said I drank water wrong, so I'm dying over here.
I see on the stream. Yes.
Oh,
Please continue.
Yeah, so if I don't know, I think we do have a lot of ideas for something like this that we'd like to add. Like we had so many more ideas for like virus powers you could do. Originally, you were able to open windows because we were planning on having windows that would benefit the virus player, but we only could end up implementing windows that benefited the like computer user. So opening windows kind of became pointless. So that's when we replaced that with the like freezing. We also had ideas to like black out the screen or disable the Wi-Fi or like, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff that we did not fully get around to adding. So I think if we were to continue on this, we definitely have plenty of room for expansion here.
Yeah, I think I mean one of the trademark things I think of when it comes to something infecting a computer is pop-ups. Like having pop-ups appear.
What we were gonna do.
There was like one of our first draft ideas of like art was a pop-up window that said like LMAO, you're screwed or something like that just would like pop up a whole bunch, but I guess we never got around to implementing that too much. But yeah,
we had something like that, but I don't think we implemented it.
Have you ever heard of a web series called The Website Is Down?
I have not.
no.
It is from ye old days of 2009. Just a very funny web series that, in particular, the second episode deals with someone getting their computer infected with malware. I would highly recommend checking out the video. Like, there's some swearing and bad language and whatever.
I would have been 4 years old when that came out.
Yeah, I'm gonna share a link to it in chat because it's very funny, and I think
I'll
like
check it out.
I mean, what is it like running in 360p or 240p? How old is this video? No, 480.
Oh my.
Okay. Oops. Starts playing audio automatically.
Some 1.8 million views now.
Yeah, it's very funny. Like, especially if you have anything to do with like tech or IT or talking to relatives or work IT stuff. Like, I find it absolutely hilarious. Like, just some really good payoff jokes. Like the second episode, especially. That's where the guy gets his computer infected with malware and deals with a lot of these problems. Yes, Lurk Not a Lie. I'm sure I've recommended it on stream before because I really find it funny. So yeah, I think a sort of advanced mode would be more interesting, like with the user reacts more quickly. Like right now, they just spend a lot of time kind of sitting there with their cursor, kind of not doing anything. So
yeah,
I can
think that's
imagine
just because right now, well, specifically right now, they're not doing anything because you were like in the tutorial thing, which actually is a button to skip directly into the game on the title screen under the main play button.
Oh, that's what that does. Okay, I didn't realize that that's what
So
that
that
like.
throws you kind of right into it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's my bad for not necessarily realizing that was the case. All right. So one question I always like to ask is, what was the most difficult problem you encountered during the jam, and how did you solve it?
I think that would be the AI and kind of user navigation system. It was really, there was a lot of confusion about how best to lay that out in the code, how best to do it to allow us to do more things, so we weren't kind of locked into a system that had any Achilles heel of some kind that would prevent us from doing a specific effect or a specific kind of thing otherwise. And I think the solution we arrived upon does have its flaws, but you know, for the game, it does work well enough. More specifically, it's not really aware of window order at the moment, so it kind of just brings windows to the top whenever it's interacting with it. But other than that, I think we're pretty happy with the system.
Nice.
I would say one of our biggest, the biggest moment for me was like, I think last night, me and Nolan were talking and we were playing the game. And at that point, we didn't have like the freezing power or anything like that. And we didn't have the infect buttons on the windows yet. And so pretty much we built all of this framework for like the mouse, you know, moving around, doing stuff. We had this whole game loop. We had all this art done. And I was trying to play it. And the optimal strategy was basically just sit in the virus menu, farm bits, and then just keep closing any window that the AI opened like immediately. So they didn't get to do anything. All you were doing was immediately closing their windows. And I was just sitting there like, oh God, this game sucks. Like we built all of this and this game like isn't fun at all to play because there's just one catch-all solution because the closed window was cheaper then. And so I think that we did rectify that somewhat in the final one by adding the infect buttons you have to zoom in for. There's more variety in like window effects. The close menu button was made more expensive, and then there were some less expensive but less powerful ones. So I think we rectified that somewhat, but still, like, I do wish that we had more time to just prototype it beforehand, because pretty much like with game jams, you know what you want to do? You want to make a prototype really quickly, see if it's fun before committing all of your time to it. We couldn't really do that just because of the scope of this game. Like, we kind of had to build everything in order to see if it was fun or not. And so this probably wasn't the best idea for like a jam game. So advice to all of you.
I thought it was fun.
Definitely. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because we're the ones who like programmed it or whatever. But I don't know. I just wish that we did something smaller we could have prototyped faster and really honed in on, instead of doing something like this that I only feel like half confident on even after it's over.
I mean, you know, as you said, it's a game jam. Sometimes you don't have time to make the prototype. You just have to charge forward and make the game. And you know, it's better that you have a game that you can complete and have some sense of like, yay, I did it, than something that's just like beats you down and is like developer difficulty like too hard. I think this idea in particular would benefit from having more purpose to the like freeze cursor and move window, like especially if if you could predict when the user is about to make a click, and you could do something like trigger a pop-up and then move that pop-up to where the user is about to click, and then that's just like makes them install or like infect more files or something like that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential if this were something we wanted to expand on.
Because as you mentioned, like the sort of dominant strategy of just kind of hanging out in here, infecting files and closing windows is still pretty powerful. But yeah, I think that I like the fact that you encourage like hopping into the game to infect things as the user is like opening things. Like poor Granny Angel, they have received so much spyware at this point.
So sad.
Yeah.
All right. I do have to get ready to go to work.
Yeah, so I will just quickly ask you then
Right.
if you'd like to drop any links in chat for anything you want people to check out.
Absolutely. You know what I'm gonna type?
I don't know what you're gonna type.
No, you definitely do.
Do I?
There we go.
Overflow.com.
There we go, yes.
Overflow.com.
Yeah. So we
Boom,
mostly
check out our
do
team.
Rec Room stuff as previously established. So pretty much everything on our portfolio is like Rec Room based. But you know, we got Overflow.com if you want to check out the stuff we did.
Right. Well, absolutely. I will pop a link, pop that open here to have a look through it. And if you ever do want to come back on the stream and show off anything else that you've made, I'd be more than happy to take a look. Although if it is VR stuff, I don't really have a means to demo that at this point.
It doesn't have to be on VR.
Okay.
It's screen mode friendly and VR.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for coming on the stream. I don't want to keep you if you got to get going, but yeah, let's keep in touch, and we can always take a look at some of those projects down the line.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right. Have a good one.
See you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.